Good evening. The Environmental Commission, November 6, 2025 meeting. Statement of compliance. The notice requirements of the open public meeting law for this meeting have been satisfied. A copy of the annual notice was sent to the Asbury Park Press and the Coaster, posted in Town Hall, and filed in the office of the Township Clerk on June 23rd, 2025. This meeting will be recorded and available on Ocean Township's YouTube channel. All right, roll call. Member Brannon? Member Colton?
Here.
Member Gaudet?
Here.
Member Janetti?
Here.
Member Lutz?
Here.
Member Mammy?
Here.
Alternate Baxi? Alternate Zephilia? All right, we're gonna just do the quick, can I jump to presentations or should we start with minutes?
Minutes, please.
Okay, let's review our October 9, 2025 meeting minutes for approval. Any questions or revisions, please let Donna know. I didn't have any comments when I reviewed them.
Your turn, Ken.
Do I have a motion to approve the October 9th meeting minutes?
Some move.
Ken Lutz
I'll second.
and Jack, thank you. And we're jumping right into our presentations this evening.
All in favor?
Oh, I'm sorry. Let's approve the minutes. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Thank you, Norm. All right, back to our presentations. We have Renee here from our Township of Ocean Clean Communities. You can have the floor from here.
I'm Renee, the Clean Communities Coordinator for Township of Ocean. I'm just gonna let you guys know what I do for clean communities. So basically we run 2 cleanups a year. I have to plan those and also educational events we have to do because we're grant funded. If you don't know what Clean Communities is, it's a statewide litter abatement program. And so for the cleanups, it's mostly just contacting the correct people. It's a lot of figuring out who wants to come. So I've learned that contacting the Boy Scouts and Girl Scouts and churches love to get involved, and
Now
the
us.
schools, yes, and I'm excited for that. So it's a lot of planning the cleanup and getting everyone involved. Then there's also organizing smaller cleanups that we do whenever anybody asks. So I'd say recently I had a woman call me who was a leader of a Girl Scouts group, and she was just asking, can we clean up this pond? And I was like, well, not really, but we can work with you and make this a cleanup event. So we would just get the supplies and also dispose of the garbage for them, and they can clean up as long as we're coordinating that. And then we've also, last year, and I plan on doing it again this year, we did an educational event we funded for the school, which we have this group, they're called the Grand Balloons. They reached out to me. They're like a circus entertainment group, and they put on like a show for the kids it's all about sustainability and litter and anything environmental, and it's really fun. I didn't get to go to the show, so I hope we can go to the next one. We just funded it for them to put on the show, but the kids loved it. Apparently there's like magic and glitter and stuff. I don't know. So I'm excited to go to that one.
Glitter, not litter.
Yeah, it's just a
What's
bunch
the
of
name of the
glitter.
group?
It's called the Grand Balloons.
Great.
Yeah.
And where was it?
They went to one of the owners.
Just litter.
In Ocean?
Yeah.
Oh,
They
okay.
reached out and they said they used to do events there and that it was funded by Clean Communities, and I was like, I guess I see what you're talking about, and I ended up setting up with them. Basically, they reach out to the school and they schedule it, and we just fund it for them to come on. And the
Okay.
kids love it. So
Hey, originally, did you have?
Hello, Ed.
Hi. Okay.
Ed has entered the chat.
Oh, it is.
they connect with the schools themselves. Yep. They just kind of go through us for the funding.
Okay.
Yep. And we can fund things like that because under our grant, we can do anything to cleanups and educational events and stuff like that.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
Yeah, and then I'd say that's a communities like those specific event side, and then for like day to day for the township, I mostly handle I work under the code enforcement, so I handle any of those complaints about litter and property maintenance or any residential and commercial properties. It's a lot of litter and garbage complaints and garbage cans, and I also try to educate people on how to dispose of garbage properly because no one knows how to get rid of like a lot of things. I'd say the most popular in this town I see is cardboard, and TVs are always at the curb and we don't collect those. So it's a lot of that where I'm like, you have to bring this somewhere. Refrigerators are always at the curb, stuff like that I have to deal with like every day. I also do any complaints about like Any illegal dumping, which we found is really popular, especially in the summertime here. There'll just be a mattress on a dead end street or in someone's dumpster and it's not there. So that's pretty common. I've noticed with mattresses and furniture. So that's a lot. You have to figure out whose it is. So, and any other complaints about litter and garbage, I go take care of those when it's in like the park or any township streets. I go out and physically pick up the garbage myself. So I do love doing that. And I can also do it like preventatively. There's a few like spots in the park or streets that we'll get complaints about. So I'll go out before we get the complaints, pick up the garbage there. And that's mostly my day to day.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
You're very proud.
You
Yeah.
drive a trash truck?
I have, I don't know what kind of car it is actually.
One is a white one with.
It's a
the
white one.
logo.
It might be a Chevy, I don't know.
When you do the twice a year cleanups, is that only on public property?
Yeah, it has to be public township property. So we basically pick locations all throughout the town. Instead of just like one park, which is what most cleanups are, we do the whole town. So anyone who signs up, they either pick a location or we assign a location. They come to us, get their supplies, go out, and they leave the garbage and we go and get it. And that day we have a big dumpster for the garbage. This past cleanup, we had, I think, about 500 pounds of garbage, which was awesome. And we had like over 100 volunteers, which a lot of that was reaching out to the schools. They helped us because the older juniors and seniors in high school, they want hours for volunteering. So all of them came and it was like kind of overwhelming.
I want to say one thing. I went to a football game a few Friday nights ago, and the grounds I noticed were there was litter.
Yeah.
And I think that would be great for
Yeah.
the students, like, during gym class when you're allowed to just like walk the track for
Yeah.
that one, if they have like the cans and the pickers and
Yeah.
walk the school grounds
Yeah,
and
and
like
so-
collect trash.
So we would be able to supply them with
With-
all of the pickers and the garbage bags, and then we would also dispose of the garbage.
And maybe that could be a location when you
Yeah.
do a cleanup. Because I obviously it was a football game, so I'm sure it's only when they have like heavy, foot traffic
That would be
through,
good for fall
obviously.
time.
And like maybe like Saturday mornings
Yeah.
post football
Yeah.
games, we can maybe get the high school kids into some kind of volunteer.
Yeah.
And you could provide them with
Yeah.
the stuff. That'd be
Yeah.
great.
Yeah, so we do a lot of this, the planning the location and giving all the supplies. And they just go out. And we obviously give them like snacks and waters and stuff like that, so.
And when you have your 2 cleanups, we obviously can sponsor an area
Yeah.
with the environmental commission and we'll have our table with
Yeah.
like, waters and
Definitely be
snacks.
awesome, because like I said, we send them out to random locations, so sometimes if there's a park with a bunch of people, we have to have someone at that park, because we
course.
don't want like a bunch of people roaming around aimlessly, so that would be good, because
Yeah.
then we can have you guys set up somewhere and us, because there's so many parks that need to be cleaned.
Yeah, of course. So keep us,
Yeah. Yeah.
on that
I like
email
that
chain
idea.
when you.
Yeah, I like that idea. I usually start planning it on like January, February, I have to choose the date,
Yeah, of course, so you can.
and for usually a weekend in May is what we aim for.
Okay.
But we try to choose it because last year, this year we had it at Oakhurst Fireman's Field, and the building there sometimes gets picked earlier and you can't get the spots, we have to be outside one year, but we like the inside to like set up all the stuff for everybody. So we
Yeah.
have to be early to like get our spot.
Well, that's great. It was great meeting you at the festival.
Yes.
I know, and
Yeah.
it's very new to me. I didn't know we
Yeah.
had you. So
Yeah, it's
I
kind of
said you
neat.
need to come introduce yourself to us and the residents watching us at home tonight.
Nobody.
All of them?
The people that field, you probably field their phone calls on a daily basis. This is who you're talking to. And you just have your cards first, it looks like, which is
So
perfect.
you can have contact.
Yeah. Anyone have any questions?
Do you handle trash in like the streams and you might have said this before I got here, I apologize, and the stormwater detention basins?
No, anything that we get complaints about, any like the little brooks and ponds, and I send them over to Public Works. They handle that. I don't know what they do, but we don't usually handle anything in the water.
How about grass in the streets?
Yeah,
That's a very common.
that's me. That's a lot.
That's
They
amazing.
they think you put grass in the street. Everyone thinks, so I tell them there's so many options. So that one's very common, especially in like May when everyone starts mowing the lawn. It's like 20 houses in a row. I'm just going to all of them.
And cleaning up the
Trying
grass.
to let them, I'm not cleaning up the grass,
Oh,
I'm
you're
letting them
letting them
know that
know.
they can't.
Do you have like a flyer, like literature that
Yeah.
kind of with
Yeah,
what
and then,
you
like,
should do.
Same with anytime there's a bunch of garbage at the curb, I'm also letting, like, I'm not removing it if it's on their property, but I'm letting them know you can't have this out, like, your pickup is on this day.
So you knock on doors.
Yeah. I leave a lot of,
Stickers.
yeah, we have warning notices that I give out on a daily basis, and then we send violation notices in the mail if, like, they're not answering, or if it's something like a lot, like, there's some houses that are like a mess, so I just immediately mail them one and try to call them. But first, I always leave one at the door, because most likely it's something that they can fix in like 24 hours.
So getting back to the grass for
Yeah.
a minute, I know you probably tell them they shouldn't do it, but do you suggest that maybe they should mulch when they mow? Give them an alternative?
Yeah, I usually don't, but that's a good idea. I usually just tell, because most people aren't knowing it themselves that are putting it at the curb, it's mostly their landscapers. So usually if I just tell them, like, tell your landscaping company that they have to take the grass with them, and that usually solves it pretty quickly. There's only a few houses where like they're recurring, but usually I don't go to the house more than once for grass, I've noticed.
Oh.
Yeah, that one's
That's
usually
right.
pretty
One
easy.
down the end of the street is so regular.
Yeah.
So what about, and I noticed this on, streets with like bike lanes, about putting trash in the bike lanes that blocks them.
Yeah, they can't, so that is something that, like, if we got a complaint about that, we either gonna go take care of that if that's township property, or if it's obviously someone's like garbage, I'm gonna go to their house. Cause that, yeah.
Like
And
the
the
trash
trash-
can in the bike lane.
Well, I was
Stuff
thinking more like
littering in the
trash
bike lane.
in general, like for
Yeah.
bulk pickup, they'll put stuff out,
Yeah.
like on a Saturday morning, and, you know, you see the kids swerving into traffic to
Yeah.
get around it.
Yeah, I think a big issue with that is anything that is put out on Saturday, I won't see. So when it's like during the week, I can see that, if they're putting it out Saturday, I'm usually not gonna see that. That happens a lot, where I'm sure that people are putting it out like, Friday or Saturday, and I don't see it.
All goes out.
yeah. Yeah, you're supposed to put it out the morning of, but the night before, because the morning of is like 6 a.m., so the day before is.
Do you
is
have
fine.
a big backlog, or is everything like basically just handled immediately?
There's always something that's open, that's not resolved in the system, but sometimes I'll have like 10 things at once that I have to go check up on every day, and sometimes everything's fine, and there's nothing at that time, so it really goes back and forth. The summer, because there are so many more residents in the summer, it's definitely a longer list, and right now it's slowing down.
Yeah.
But, yeah, usually things get, if it doesn't get resolved, we do issue summons. I've only had to do that twice. So those are like ongoing, they go
Well,
on.
because it is that like how many warnings can you give someone before
Yeah.
you're like
Yeah,
you're in violation?
Yeah, like I leave something at the door, and if I notice, if I go back to check, I'll usually give 2 days. Usually in 1 day it's gone, but I'll write 48 hours, I'll go back, and if I'm supposed to leave a notice on the door, then I'm gonna call them. Because they're not home. And a lot of people are, in the summer, only here on weekends, so I know I'm just gonna call the person, and they're gonna take care of it pretty quickly, so.
If we could come up with an educational campaign, what are like the top 3 or 5 things that you always see that people tend to miss?
I'd say that the thing that I see, like, every single week would be electronics are always put at the curbs. I see TVs at the curb all the time, and the township does not pick those up. So those are always, and I just have to tell people, like, you don't pick these up, and I see.
Not even metal, very metal, like the
Yeah.
4 times a year, you
Yeah, they're
don't
not
take
picked up.
electronics.
Yeah.
So when we have those big
That's a big
electronic
one.
cleanup guys.
Yeah. And I'd say also,
You could take it to Sunset also.
yeah,
Yeah.
that's what I tell most people. I say you can just drop it off right there. And also I'd say a cardboard is a big thing. People will put a bunch of cardboard boxes out for regular garbage pickup, and if it's not in the cans, they're not gonna pick it up. It has to be in the cans, it's in the ordinance. So I tell people, if you have a bunch of cardboard, you have to fold it up and put it in your recycling. If you're putting it out with your regular garbage, it has to go in your recycling. That's a big one. I'd say cardboard and TVs, I see a lot. Yeah.
Well, great, thank you. We know it's a late night, so thank you for coming.
Thank you for having me.
Anyone else? Any questions at home in the audience? All right, well, thanks, Renee.
The crickets have a-
Thanks.
Again, you can hang around. If you sneak out, we won't be offended. we're gonna jump right into it. Did I miss anything? I jumped right in. Minutes, good. Presentations, we're on track. Items for discussion tonight, we'll go into old business, the fireman's pond dredging.
It's moving along. I don't know if anyone caught it. So last time, I think I told you that they ran into a problem that the gate was not opening at the bottom, so they had to repair it. So it slowed everything down, but they de-watered most of the pond before we got that insane amount of water with the storm. And the pond filled back up almost to the point of flooding, which was fantastic because had it not been de-watered, it would have been flooding everywhere. And I try so hard not to read comments on any of our town Facebook pages, but I read one for the ribbon cutting of the fireman's pond, and some residents seem to think that dredging the pond will increase flooding. So for the folks watching at home, I want to let you know that is not what happens when you dredge it. You add volume to the pond so it can hold more water, so there will be less flooding. That's one of the reasons we're doing the dredging project. But yeah, it's moving along. They have not started the dredging yet, but I understand it will start very soon. So
Great.
Yeah.
Didn't I see a brand new gate valve sitting out there too? So I think that's been fixed.
yes, I'm pretty sure that they put that in. Yeah.
Wait, so what did they, so after all that water filled it back up again, had it get back, water has
Yep.
to be removed
You're
again?
draining
Yep.
it as we speak.
Yeah. They didn't have to take the fish out this time.
Street.
Huh?
It's in the street.
Yes.
Yeah.
See it in the street out Winnebago.
They're dewatering two places, so they're pumping it down into where it normally falls out. But they were also pumping it out where it comes in from the northeast corner of the pond.
You know, that's why
There's-
there's so much water on the street.
Yeah,
Yeah.
they were pumping it because the stream comes in. I mean, it's a stream that was just blocked up. And that stream, if you're familiar with the area, runs behind Wanamass Elementary, and it comes down, it crosses under Bendemeer in a pipe. It's channelized and piped, and it comes back out into the pond there, along with stormwater from, I believe it takes stormwater from Interlake as well. So,
Great
Yep.
update.
Stormwater from, so it would be piped under and wick back out.
But when they had the oil spill behind the school, I don't think it came into the pond.
it did.
Yes, years ago.
Yeah.
No, years ago, but didn't it come through more in the lollipop than firemen's?
The
Mhm.
fireman's pond, and they killed all the frogs.
Which are back.
Yeah, I know what they smell like.
Okay, next old business I wanted to bring up the tree ordinance. Ken, where did we leave off? Did we draft anything to present to the
haven't.
council?
I've just been inundated with work.
You
so-
have, do you want me to take over from writing it?
No, 5 more weeks.
Because I'd love to get it to them by the end of the year. Jesse's kind of been, they passed some kind of resolution. So is it to vote on it? Or did they not get there yet because we didn't give them the draft?
No,
We're not there yet?
no.
Okay, and then also while we're doing that, update for the developers, are we going to revise it for the
Yes.
acreage per tree? Okay. I'm happy to meet with you. That's like a huge goal I want to cross off for this year, so. Whenever you're
All right, well,
ready.
As soon as this semester's over, I'll be done.
Yes, okay.
Become a bean counter.
I can't even see Ken because your plans.
This is for pinch protection.
That is too funny. Okay, moving right along, new business. I just wanted to bring up the schedule really quick with you guys. Is this a vote, Donna? I was looking at January. I won't be here for the first half of January, so I didn't know if we wanted to forego the January meeting or another date. So I just want to see where you guys landed with that. We, our next meeting is December 11th, and then we'll pick back up
I
in
would say
February.
that's a good time to decide, because maybe there's something meaningful that we can say that.
Decide in December.
The January meeting.
Okay, so you want to push this off to next meeting?
I don't know what's going on.
Okay.
It could be something. I may have something to say.
Yeah.
For
That's
January?
unusual.
Interesting.
That's an unusual
Is
thing.
this all the dates for the next year?
No.
No, it's just one
It's
meeting.
just a-
One meeting
Okay.
in
Yeah,
January.
skip a
I
meeting.
won't be here, so it's up to you guys.
What would it be, the 8th?
Yeah, I think so.
If everyone wants to decide now, I'm good with that.
I'm okay with deciding just, well, I guess it doesn't matter. I will be absent and we know that
Then
now.
somebody would have to fill in for
I'd
you.
have to get a committed, fill in.
So the fill-in would have to be committed?
That would be
Yeah,
you,
somebody would have to be
because you
committed.
want the January
I've been
meetings.
committed. I've been
So you
committed.
will lead the meeting on January 8th.
I listen, I will just say that that particular week of January right now is shaping up to be very busy for me as well, because it will be the end of the lame duck legislative session, so I will also likely not be here. So I would suggest going with the chair's idea of canceling the January meeting. And if something urgent comes up that Norm feels that he cannot wait until February to express to us all, he could record himself and just email it to us.
Maybe something important that I don't want you or the chair to vote on.
Well, it's not gonna happen in January.
Everyone go with that. All right,
Okay, so we're canceling the January meeting.
yes,
Okay.
but I'll be available later in
I
January
might actually
should
have
we
a
need
whole-
to get
I might-
together.
I might have a whole meal. Well, actually, I'll probably.
You know, Norm, we're not canceling Shakespeare. You could go over.
Yeah.
You could see, and no one will be there to harass you to end the meeting early.
For the January meeting, for the Shade Tree Commission, as an agenda item to badmouth Litchfield.
I'm moving right along
Will
to,
there be a shade tree meeting?
At the moment.
Yes, the look on Donna's face says that.
There won't be a shade tree meeting.
I cannot say that.
so
Norm
actually, we're
has it
going,
on there.
we're staying, on cue here because the next meeting, December 11th, we have a presenter for Complete the Streets, Maura, who's been spearheading, that whole, initiative in Winnemassa on Sunset and Wickapeco.
Right.
And they've actually retained an engineering firm, I believe it's an engineering firm, Eugenity, out of Red Bank to obtain a grant for technical assistance with their mapping and whatnot. So she, do I even have his name? Chris Strato, which with Eugenity, I could spell it better than I can say it. Reached out asking if the Environmental Commission would back Complete the Streets initiative with a support letter. So Donna sent that letter in an attachment for you all to read today. I figured perfect timing because he reached out to me yesterday. The deadline for it is tomorrow at midnight. So he wants to see the letter by tomorrow morning. So I was happy to be able to share it with you all tonight. Did everyone get a chance to review that letter? I brought a copy if you want to see it.
Yeah, I did not get a chance to look at it.
And here, let's pass it around.
Thank you.
And it's just, like I said, it's a grant. They have people spearheading this grant for them. They need our support and perfect timing because we welcome them to the Environmental Commission with open arms. She'll be here next week if you guys want to, I'm sorry, next month for everyone at home to tune in then. That will be a great presentation as well, piggybacking off of Renee. Any questions on this letter? Great. Gonna send it out
I
tomorrow.
haven't seen
It looks good. to me.
Norm, you have it. I gave you a copy of it too.
You got it now.
It's nice
it. You
heavyweight.
told me to read it.
Yeah, but that was 10 minutes ago.
Look at that paper, it's very nice. Looks like.
It'll come out of my printer.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's like a legal description paper.
Yeah.
The seal. I guess I'll pause.
Right, that's good.
Good stuff, right? I mean, I'm excited for Complete the Streets. I'm ready for them to, and we're ready to back them. All right, moving on to Planned Review Committee. Norm, what pending plan do you have? I see Hollywood Golf Club.
I have two sets of plans. One is Hollywood Golf Club. Trying to figure out what to.
Okay, so they
They're
came
not doing it.
to us in the planning board about a year ago. They were putting on an addition with an expanded kitchen, like walk-in kitchen spaces.
This one, the description of this. description notice. That
Thank you.
there's, so it says basically on November 25th, 24, they were granted minor site approval to add Westfield addition. Okay? Now they're seeking minor site plan approval for construction of a pump house with heated enclosure, renovations to the existing golf pro building, as well as minor modifications to previously approved clubhouse. Okay? That's what they're going to do now. Although it says they've got things showing, they have a landscape plan that sort of says that they're going to take out 7 trees, right? However, that plan doesn't show which 7, but on the plan that's called existing conditions and site preparation, they also have that table. They show which trees are coming out, okay? However, on the landscape plan, they don't, and they say they're gonna replace them with 10 trees, but they never identify the 10 trees and where they're going on the landscape plan that I can tell, obvious.
Did you write your letter for that yet?
No, I'm just noticing it today.
Okay.
I haven't had a chance to look at these things. So, I'm not sure what else.
Yeah, what you're gonna come up with?
Okay? The more interesting set, but in reality, we're not doing anything.
No, I mean, I don't think they're
The
gonna
original
snip
set of
coverage.
plans is, if you drive on West Park Avenue, east, across from 35, you go to the post, you come to the post office. Across the street from where the post office is, okay? There's a street, the first street that goes in.
Fine.
Yeah. Okay, that kind of curves around where,
There's like a nursery right there.
Was a nursery.
It's before, I guess before you get to the nursery. Is where Amy Stewart lives.
Yeah.
In there, okay? Anyway, so from her house back to West Park Avenue, there's some houses there, but there's also a very wide open area with some trees on it and everything else, okay? That's going to become a whole housing block.
Great.
Yeah, that is the old nursery. It's
Yeah.
north, it's between Klein and West Park.
And that was that new street there.
No, I'll show you, that some of it is a good map.
Well,
there's
the
the
old
post office.
nursery that used to be there.
Yeah, the one that they have been illegally clearing and doing not above board stuff for the last 2 years.
I mean,
Apparently have a list of fines a mile long. Yeah,
The spot we're talking about here.
Okay, so I'll show you what.
So from what my recollection of the land, I feel like there's arborvitae all around it, right? But it's pretty wide open.
well, it is now. Because they clear cut it.
Okay. And the plans for,
How many houses? It's a minor, oh, major,
that's what.
major subdivision. Throw it on the table.
Okay.
Oh my God.
This is what's going to happen.
Hard to say.
7 lots, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, and some kind of detention basin. And corn. That's what they.
What zone is that in? Is that
Top right
R2 or
corner.
3?
It's our work.
I don't think that'll be
Each of the
3.
lots are around 10,000.
Put on the table.
Yeah, it's an R4.
That's a 4.
Can you, Norm, can you put it up so we can all see? Show the size.
Yeah, lay it
Put it on the
up there.
table.
The other.
Answer the not
This is norm. No, that doesn't help.
R4 zone.
No.
10,000 square foot lots all around.
That's R4.
Yeah.
That doesn't sound
This is
right.
West Park Avenue.
Could be.
I mean, I forget, does the R4 have a density bonus?
Basin.
Does the R4 have a density bonus for
Maybe it's not.
compact development?
Maybe.
Plus,
Maybe it's an R3 and
Oh,
they're
you're
giving,
right.
they're gonna try to get, where's this
What you
verbiage?
saw.
Hmm?
1,
That all should be
2,
in the
3.
cover letter.
What's happening with
Or
that?
disappeared.
1, 2, 3, 4, 1, 2, 3. And this one,
Is a retention
maybe
basin.
where the exactly the
Detention basin in the
Where's
back.
that going?
I'm trying to think of where the way the land slopes.
Lay it on the table so you can all see
I
it.
think it slopes down there. I think it slopes down towards roughly, I think it's the Poplar Brook watershed there.
So I
Okay.
assume these are all coming in front of
So,
planning.
yeah, West Parker Gate.
Subdivision has to.
It's hard to tell. They used to always say what something.
Where it was going.
On the cover sheet. I think I talked to,
Yeah.
Nicole.
No, but subdivision has to. It's not a for debate.
They used to say
What are they
they're
doing?
for on-
This is probably just coming off.
Yeah, Claire would make like a
Park.
cover page and she'd write
Yeah,
like
right.
zoning board.
Yeah, so that was on the
And sometimes they have,
subdivision lot.
they used to have a stamp on the set of
Cul-de-sacs.
plans that you see it by what it was. But I don't see that.
Looks like this whole lot. With a river rock or riprap entrance.
Now, if anyone wants to know the whole thing, this is all related to stormwater.
Drainage analysis is.
Stormwater basin, area investigation report, stormwater management operation, and maintenance manual.
Is this part of the subdivision or is this somebody else?
This one is.
I can't with these.
No, this,
I
So
can't
This
with
must be the
this.
existing property.
Honestly, there's probably like 5 people in the whole state who can actually read them. So,
this is here.
They must have owned this whole lot and they want to subdivide it.
yes.
Because the nursery was here.
Is it an LLC or is it an individual? Doesn't matter. But it probably does matter for us,
An
right,
LLC.
Ken? We gotta get that letter in. It's an
Well,
LLC,
that's
he's gotta
typical.
pay his full dues.
And and the owner is,
Maybe we'll make that your winter break,
No, I'll
activity.
do it during
Well, we've
Thanksgiving.
got a set of these sheets.
No pressure, Ken, we appreciate everything.
Jack.
And you gotta teach me how to do it, so
Yeah,
I
this
can,
This is what, it says that the owner, the applicant is Bio Investment Group, LLC.
this the owner of lot 29 is Normal Bitbull.
well, look,
Yeah, but him owning it doesn't mean anything.
Well, that's one lot.
This could be,
That's
that's
maybe
so he
this
backs
lot,
up to.
because this is
Yeah,
an
that's an
existing
owner's
dwelling
list
back
on
there.
there.
the owner's, right, he owns the property.
What
But
is it gonna
sometimes,
Probably like a
a lot of times it's a
contract
contract
for-
purchaser of a piece of property that tries to.
Well, the
finance
LLC
everything,
definitely would
But
be.
he still
Yeah.
owns the property. Just for example, those billboard things are being filed by someone, and then when you look, it says the owner.
Lot 29 is
Phillips
not here.
Petroleum.
Yeah.
Lot 29 is, somewhere. This is lot 5.
That's the
Actually,
proposed lot. Proposed lot.
it says this tract has 3 lots.
I mean, if
Lots 29, 30, and 31.
in an ideal world, you wouldn't have a cul-de-sac.
Cul-de-sac.
They would
You'd get rid of that house and go through,
go through the client.
which,
Now, what if?
Actually, they wouldn't, I wouldn't have a curb cut here at all. I would
Whichever one is
have it
lot
come up
A.
with client.
Which is lot A? Lot A.
You don't
there's a
wanna
house on
create
it now
another
that's-
you don't
conflict.
want to have.
I think that's the front
don't wanna have to
right,
almost someone put a
front left
cul-de-sac here.
spot.
Somebody did the street right this.
Yeah.
Okay, so lot A is gonna have, the house is gonna remain, it says there.
Yeah, then you don't.
Yeah, well,
Lot
this one's
B will
not
contain
bad. I
only
think
proposed
we screwed
infiltration
up
basin
on the
and
one.
related improvements.
Off of the English Manor.
And the other lots,
We
C,
should
D,
have let
and
them have-
FGH, the other 6 lots
Actually,
will become
yeah.
vacant building lots.
Because, and there's more units back there, so any catastrophe back in there, there's only one way in and one way out.
And it
Someone
says
has
here-
spent a lot of time walking
it
that
says here,
neighborhood
the
the last
only
few
connected
weeks.
to township
Yes,
stormwater
that was
management
really
system.
annoying to get over there.
It says they want to connect to the township's stormwater management system located within the Klein Street right of way. Otherwise, lot 5 is otherwise unrelated to
Pine
subdivision
Street, right,
itself.
that would be
Yeah.
way down.
I think there's like a,
Yeah, but the management is here. Oh, and is that a stormwater? In,
This is all for stormwater, lot 5.
No, that's,
this, oh, yeah, because look,
Lot,
look.
E,
I'm sorry, lot E.
that might be some easement to this property for
Mhm.
stormwater.
Yeah, they make that. See, Amy's doing this.
Very interesting.
Anyway,
I look forward to reading your letter for that one too.
Yeah, I haven't looked into what they propose for trees and what's going on.
Yeah, they probably should,
But the professionals, but usually we're relying on the professionals for a lot of
Yeah, of course.
the,
Moving on because I think we're good, right?
they probably should be going out the other way. But then they're still gonna hit West Park eventually.
Yeah, but it reduces what's called the conflict point. Because every time you create an intersection on a road, there's another potential conflict where people can crash.
especially trying to go.
Especially West Park.
Yeah.
There's access on West Park.
Especially
Never
West
seen
Park.
one.
No, it's so rare.
Nobody used to.
3 o'clock in the
No,
I
afternoon.
remember when I was a kid when the car went through the American Way convenience store.
I'm gonna go on to the next item under plan reviewing and
Yeah.
ask Ed for a meeting update. Planning board.
Sure. So speaking of West Park, at the other end of West Park, there was a report done for an area in need of redevelopment for the senior living center that's near the top of the hill next to the church. The planning board did not like the report that the consultant provided for us, so we sent it back to more or less be redone. So that will be coming at, I believe it's coming either at our next meeting or at our December meeting. It's kind of up in the air because our next meeting is already full and there's a zoning board meeting that needed to be rescheduled because once again, they did not have a quorum. So we only have half an hour and we have to do our stormwater updates. When we approved the ordinance to bring our stormwater ordinance in line with the DEP regulations earlier this year, we did not follow the process appropriately. We just said it was consistent with the master plan, but that's not what we needed to do. We actually needed to accept it as an amendment to the master plan. So we have to have a master plan, essentially an update to the master plan. So that's what we're definitely doing next month. And with the number of questions that we had at the report, it is unlikely that we will get through the area need of redevelopment study at the next meeting, but we'll see. And that also brings me to the other thing I'm sure you all noticed in the election earlier this week, that the referendum passed to combine the planning and zoning boards, which is a non-binding referendum, but we will see what happens with the council. My guess, and I could be wrong, but my understanding is that they would have to introduce it, would have to go through 2 readings, and it would have to be published. So we would probably still have at least 2 more planning board meetings under our current setup, and then it would start in the new year, assuming that they get the ordinance introduced sooner rather than later.
Well, how would that work?
What do you mean?
Well, you're gonna have 1 meeting, or you're gonna have 2 meetings a month?
It doesn't, the referendum didn't specify, but my understanding is that the point would be to have 2 meetings a month.
As opposed to 1 for each.
And they would have a combined group of so many people.
Yeah, it would be a board of 9 with 4 alternates. So it'd be the planning board and their 2 alternates, but because it has zoning powers, it gets the bonus of another 2 alternates. Because a zoning board applicant can at any time ask for a vote of a full board, which means they can ask for 7 votes. And because the zoning board has specific requirements that town officials cannot participate, the class 1 and class 3 members of the planning board have to step down off the dais whenever the combined board is hearing a zoning application. So that's why they need the extra 2 alternates to be able to fill in, because they will lose 2 members when the planning board hears a zoning application.
So how many members are on the zoning board right now?
There are 9 with 2 alternates.
So what's gonna happen to
Although
them?
there's a vacancy, but
What's gonna happen to those people?
that is a wonderful question, Norm. There is some debate about what exactly the process is going to be, but I think my understanding is that the town intends to fully dissolve both boards and reappoint 1 board.
Okay, because you could theoretically have 16 people on it.
No.
Is it maximum of 4?
Correct. You cannot just add alternates. They're not legally voting.
Not alternates. Why couldn't you have more members?
Because
Increase the
the
size of the
number of people on the boards is explicitly set forth in the NLUL.
State level.
9+4.
So 9 plus 4. 9 members, 4 alternates.
9 plus,
Oh, that's maximum size.
Mm-hmm.
I thought legally they can't dissolve both boards, they can dissolve the zoning board and then appoint 2 alternates to the planning.
That is my understanding of it as well. That is not the understanding that shared by all legal professionals involved in the matter. So that's up for the lawyers to determine. My personal understanding is that a planning board cannot be dissolved, and we have a planning board. So you can dissolve the zoning board, but we'll see. We'll see what happens. But just to the point, this is now, I think, the second month in a row that the zoning board was not able to make quorum for their regularly scheduled meeting. So, yeah. And when you have a lot of residents who need the zoning board to be able to move forward projects.
Is this board going to still have to require a member of the environmental commission to be on?
Yeah, it's still planning board. It is still technically by law a planning board.
So it'd be called the planning board?
No, it's probably gonna be called the combined board or the land use board or
The land use board.
whatever you wanna, but yeah.
I think it's the residents streamlining, imagine hiring a professional, retaining him to show up for a meeting and knowing days before they could, it's canceled, so. That's good and bad.
Yeah, it's not, listen, in terms of meeting the needs of Ocean residents, canceling zoning board meetings for lack of quorum is not good. It's just not. It's not good for anyone. It's not good for the town. It's definitely not good for the residents. It might be great for the professionals because they're getting paid anyways.
Yeah.
But that's not the point of the board. So.
Great, thank you for that breakdown. Let's move on. I have a quick update with the community forestry management plan. We're having a second stakeholder meeting, hopefully November 20th. Patty just updated me. Sterling Consultants should have a drafted plan, our CMFP, to review a draft within a week, Ken, she
We're
said?
supposed to deliver tomorrow.
Oh, we'll have it this week. Okay, we didn't want to rush to meet on the 12th, so we'll have some time to digest it. So that's exciting. We're making strides with that. So when we do have that meeting, everyone's welcome, and I will extend further because we had a great turnout on our first one. I think it was September 16th. But I would like more engagement if everyone could mark their calendars for November 20th. And stakeholder means everyone's invited in the town. We're all stakeholders.
Patty said if she doesn't get it by tomorrow at noon, she's gonna start counting them.
Oh, great. Aw. Okay, well, we do, we are on a timeline, so it's good to stick to that. Does anyone have any questions about anything we covered this evening? Does the public have any questions about anything we covered this evening?
or anything.
Or any comments?
I have one other thing, and I only saw it late in the day. I have not had a chance to read it, but DEP today released their building decarbonization plan for the state of New Jersey. So I know that a lot of folks are interested in that.
You want to
Decarbonization.
unpack that a little bit?
Sure. So building decarbonization is essentially removing fossil fuels from your buildings, and it tends to lean heavily onto electrification. But the plan that they released is a set of recommendations from policy to practical to be able to help facilitate moving homes, businesses, facilities like town hall away from fossil fuels, and not just the use of fossil fuel energy, but also in building materials, et cetera, et cetera. So it means making them more energy efficient, so they're not using as much heat, all of that kind of best practices building stuff. Think LEED, but for everyone.
Who's gonna pay for the grid updates?
Who's gonna pay for the heat pumps?
Well,
That'll be individual.
I guess let us know once you do read it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Do I have a motion to end our November 6th meeting?
So moved.
Second.
Jack and Steve. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
I've never seen Donna.
Thanks, everyone.